Mobapad's M6HD are possibly the best all-around Joy-Con replacements for the original Nintendo Switch. They've been slotted into my Switch OLED since my review years ago, and using anything else feels like a downgrade at this point. Unfortunately, original Joy-Con don't work great with Switch 2s. There are adapters to make them work in a pinch, but they're not great for overall comfort. Fortunately, Mobapad M12HD on paper seemed to capture much of the M6HD's excellence with key upgrades for the Switch 2. When Mobapad offered to send me a review unit, I jumped at the opportunity to try it out. And, well, over the past couple weeks, they've mostly matched that expectation. Those who love the M6HD will likely enjoy the M12HD. However, unlike the M6HD and original Joy-Con, the M12HD aren't feature complete with the Joy-Con 2. That, combined with some small awkwardness during usage, will make Mobapad's latest controllers more of a decent Joy-Con 2 alternative rather than a full-on replacement. To dig into that more, let's start by looking at the design. The M12HD looks very much like the M6HD, just a bit larger, a bit sleeker. The smooth parts of the plastic shell have the same look and feel as my Switch 2. If not for the glowing Mobapad logo and custom legends on the buttons, they could easily pass for official Joy-Con 2 Pro. Smooth portions of the plastics are soft to touch, and angled in just the right way to fit against the angle of my palms. No awkward edges in sight. Meanwhile, textured grips around back have just the right depth to hold with a light or tight grip. Because they flare out a bit at the sides, the M12HD are very comfortable to use for long play sessions. For my hands, they tend to feel even better than their predecessors. Both controller halves attach via the same magnet connector combo as Joy-Con 2. There's a bit of flex around the connector if I try hard enough, but the connection's surprisingly sturdy. I have no problem lifting the console by a single controller. Anyone not intentionally trying to make the magnets fail should have no problems with connection. Controls follow the same high quality with an input set that most folks would expect of a premium Switch controller in 2026. Although, up front, if you don't like clicky buttons, the M12HD won't be for you. It's clicky all the way down. If everything else about the design sparks your interest, you might want to hold out hope for something a bit softer. For those, like me, who enjoy clicky buttons, the face buttons feel great. Each action button feels soft to press with a nice amount of feedback and springiness when fully actuated. They're not quiet, but not quite as loud as other micro switch buttons I've tested. The D-pad feels very similar, albeit slightly crisper in each cardinal direction. Hitting an intended direction feels easy without any errors to note. An 8-way topper comes pre-installed, but can be replaced with a cross-style topper if wanted. Due to its smooth surface, the 8-way topper doesn't feel quite as good as something like an Xbox Series controller, but I do appreciate its lightness. Meanwhile, the cross-style topper adds a bit of firmness to input. It's still light and clicky overall, just a bit more definitive. It's what I've gravitated toward most over time. Shoulders and digital triggers come with a surprising amount of texture. They make resting my fingers on their surface extra comfortable. The trigger's sloped design also helps me differentiate between buttons by touch. Both buttons are firm, with a bit more resistance than the face buttons. It's just enough to avoid pressing them by accident, but not enough that they're fatiguing to use for long play sessions. The TMR sticks are similarly high quality. Their smooth movement comes with just the right amount of tension to aid precise movements. Compared to Joy-Con 2, the stems are also a bit longer, the stick caps have a bit more texture, and they're slightly offset from the face buttons. Folks who find Joy-Con 2 thumbsticks a bit cramped will likely enjoy Mobapad's design choices here. So far, so great. Unless someone dislikes clicky buttons, the M12HD seems like a straightforward upgrade to the Joy-Con 2. Unfortunately, not everything is improved from either the M6HD or the Joy-Con 2 themselves. Unlike its predecessor, the M12HD doesn't come with removable faceplates or stick caps. Neither omission bothers me too much. After all, I've stuck with the same black faceplate and the same sticks since reviewing my M6HD. It just might irk any fans of either feature. HD rumble also isn't quite as precise on the M12HD as it is on the Joy-Con 2. In games that utilize it properly, HD rumble on Joy-Con 2 can feel on par with Sony's DualSense controllers' detailed haptics. Early in Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, there's a level that requires jumping on some leaf-headed creatures to reach higher levels. Each basic jump on the Joy-Con 2 comes with a subtle vibration that fades in and out of the controller's bottom ends. Doing a ground pound intensifies the vibrations to make a very clear sensation that the entire console is shaking as much as the screen, even while it's mostly still. Both sensations are clear, crisp, and defined. On the M12HD, both of those sensations are still present. It's just a bit less crisp, less well-defined, even with the rumble intensity set to max. I'd liken it to listening to a song in the room you're in versus hearing the song from the next room over, maybe with a bit of extra noise added. There could be many potential reasons for this difference. Mobapad could be reusing their HD rumble tech from the M6HD, or maybe the M12HD's larger size might be working to muffle haptics a bit. Either way, in this one aspect, they're a bit less immersive than first-party controllers, which does feel like a real bummer. The bigger difference, for me at least, is the lack of an optical sensor for mouse controls. I'm sure there are plenty of folks who will ignore mouse controls for as long as they use a Switch 2. I'm not one of them. I've genuinely appreciated their implementation in many games and hope to see more mouse-based control schemes in the future. Because the M12HD doesn't offer that input, using them as my main controllers means I'll need to keep Joy-Con 2s on hand to swap in for any relevant games. I honestly don't know if this is an intentional omission from Mobapad or a quirk of Nintendo's own implementation disallowing third-party integrations. Either way, it's a bit frustrating to not have access to a key Joy-Con 2 feature. On the bright side, Mobapad does at least include a hardshell case in the box. It snugly fits the M12HD with enough room for their upgraded charging grip. Given the case, it's easy enough to keep my Joy-Con 2 attached during travel and carry the M12HD separately. It's a small inconvenience, but manageable overall. Folks unbothered by less customization, softer rumble, and missing mouse controls will still likely have a great time with the M12HD. I know I have. Whether working my way through Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, hopping my way through Mina the Hollower, or failing miserably at Sectori, the M12HD have held up very well. Their large grips pretty much eliminate hand cramps, unless I really have a death grip on the controls. They work just as well detached too. The M6HD have often felt fine but cumbersome to use as wireless controllers, but the M12HD's extra height clears up that awkwardness. They're balanced very well, and I've had no issues. These controllers also come with amiibo support for games that use it. Motion controls likewise feel just as good as original hardware. There's even a dedicated game chat button for folks who get social with their Switch 2 gameplay. 2 extra buttons on the grip provide additional remappable buttons. Now, because the M12HD register as Joy-Cons, the buttons can't be remapped as GL and GR in Switch 2 menus, but they're easy enough to remap on controller as needed, and ignore when not needed. By default, the controllers connect to the Switch 2 via the standard connectors, but a switch around back can sever that connection to allow the controllers to connect via Bluetooth. This prevents them from drawing power from the Switch 2, potentially saving some battery life. It's thoughtful, even if not the most necessary from my experience. Given the direction of handheld controller design over the past few years, the M12HD's comfort and feature set feel in line with what I'd expect out of a modern handheld. It'll honestly be hard to go back to Joy-Con 2 outside needs for mouse control or games that have really nice haptics. Even still, I do have to say, it's not going to be perfect for everyone. Plenty of folks already lament the Switch 2's large size. At twice the width of Joy-Con 2, Mobapad's controllers make the problem even worse. Anyone not looking for a Steam Deck-sized handheld might want to wait for something a bit more compact. Additionally, while the logo lights can be turned off, it requires downloading Mobapad's app to do so. That app also provides firmware updates and more detailed macro controls, so it's not entirely useless. I just would have liked a button combination to turn off lights instead. Similarly, I'd like the option to decrease the brightness of the controller position indicators. In a dark room, they shine through the connector's plastic housing and are visible in the gap between controller and tablet. The majority of the time, it's a non-issue, but on occasion, it's a bit distracting. If none of that's a deal breaker for you, and you enjoy clicky buttons, you'll probably have a great time with the M12HD. In terms of price, the M12HD with case and charging grip are also the same $100 as a pair of Joy-Con 2. For anyone looking to buy a second pair of Joy-Con 2, they're an easy recommendation as a straight-up alternative. They just won't satisfy those who find $100 too expensive for controllers. Although, Even if you do find them too expensive, as of recording, they really don't have any competition for folks interested in handheld play. Mobapad's slightly scaled back M12S is available for pre-order at $20 less, and Nixie has a higher priced and lower spec'd Joy-Con 2 alternative, and well, that's about it. You could opt for a telescopic controller like Crack's Nitro Deck 2 or GameSir's G8 Plus. It just won't give you quite the same experience. Third-party manufacturers seem slow to market for Joy-Con 2 alternatives. Much of the lower end still focuses on adding grips to the Joy-Con 2 to make them more comfortable. It's a great strategy. It just won't solve any complaints about cramped controls. Essentially, if you're looking for a Joy-Con 2 alternative right now, Mobapad's M12HD is pretty much the best all-around option you'll find. That's not necessarily a bad thing though. Mobapad's done a ton of work to make controllers that blend in well with the Switch 2, feel extremely comfortable to use, and get as close to the Joy-Con 2's feature set as they probably can. Beyond a version of the M12 HD that allow for mouse control, more precise rumble, and back button remapping via Switch 2 software, there's not much I could imagine changing about these controllers that'd make them better than they are. Unless they or another manufacturer creates a brand new style of controller that completely upends what's possible with third-party controllers, Mobapad's M12 HDs will likely be the Joy-Con 2 alternative most folks should buy for the foreseeable future. Those have been my thoughts though. Now's when I ask for yours. Are you in the market for a Joy-Con 2 alternative and have extra questions? Or have you received your M12 HDs and have thoughts of your own? Let me know down in the comments. As always, if you found this video helpful or informative, go ahead and give it a like to let me know, and then get subscribed for more controller reviews in the near future. This video was made possible thanks to an early review unit sent by Mobapad. As always, they had no editorial input into the making of this video or early screening of the video. They're seeing it for the first time alongside y'all. If you're interested in buying the M12 HD, I'll leave a link in the video description so that you can find it. Alongside the controllers, they also sent me one of their slim carrying cases. It's very nice and feels great to use. Soft inside, hard outside, 20 game storage. I took it on a recent trip to Albuquerque and was glad to save some space in my bag compared to my typical case. I quite like it. If you're looking to get one of the M12 controllers to use as your primary controller, it's likely to be a good purchase. After all, with them attached, your Switch 2 won't be able to fit into any standard cases you have lying around. Anyway, that's gonna be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. Until next time, catch you later.